Hi crafty friends, it's Nancy here. A few friends have recently encouraged me to try making some crafting videos. And so I'm going to give that a shot today. I don't have the time or inclination right now to learn how to edit videos. So for today's video, you're going to get a live make it with me card, mistakes and all. I do apologize in advance if you hear some growling dog. My one dog is, I think, wondering why I'm talking to myself. So I'm going to start out today with a Christmas card. I've decided to try and make more Christmas cards throughout the year, just so I don't have the panic in the end of the year trying to get everything done. Christmas cards are also my favorite reason to make cards, so it shouldn't be too much of a stretch for me to actually throw together a couple of cards every month. So today I'm starting out with this wonderful slimline 3D embossing folder by Lisa Horton Crafts. Trying to get a good view of it here for you. It is pine cones. I am not making a slimline card. I'm making a regular A2, is that what it is? A2 size cards. So I've cut a panel of white cardstock down to 3 3/4 by 5 and have embossed that already to start out with. Now this embossing folder has so much detail. It is absolutely stunning, and it's going to be the focal point of my card. So what I'm going to do next is put some adhesive on the back of this. I love my ATG tape runner. I've got 2 of them. I've been using them for a long time. Yeah, it took a bit to get used to, but I absolutely love it. I'm going to put my panel down here on this piece of dark green cardstock. Adhere it down well and push this out of the way because I'm going to grab my Perfect Layers tool. Now, Perfect Layers are no longer made. They make up, the company that made them no longer is in business. So We Are Memory Keepers has a version of this called Layer Guides, I believe. They come in a 6-inch length and a 12-inch length. I just like these ones because they fit easily on my desk. I've got both sizes, honestly. There are 2 different rulers. I've shown them in a video before. Each of them has 4 different measurements depending on which way you hold it. And it's got this little lip. You can see this line here with the 1/2 inch measurement. That little lip catches on the edge of your top layer. And then this is a cutting ruler on this side. It's got metal so that you can create perfect layers every time. I absolutely love a 1/16 inch layer or mat for my cards, and I do it on almost every card I make. So I just butt this up against here. It'll catch along the cardstock. Use my craft knife and give it a cut. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides of this panel. This is the easiest way to make mats as far as I'm concerned. I know it can be a little daunting at first until you get the hang of them, but keep playing with them because they are fabulous tools if you like making mats. So I'm just going to pull my surface back in front of me. So now you can see I've got this panel with my perfect 1/16 inch layer all around it. I'm gonna grab myself a card front, and I absolutely love my Score Buddy by Score Pal. I have the big one as well for when I'm doing larger projects, but this one again sits nice and easily on my desk, so it's easy to grab, packs up quickly if I'm going to play with somebody else and or play somewhere else. So I really love this thing. I don't use this anymore for it. I bought new ones, and I always find it's just maybe a little bit too thick and doesn't give me a nice score. So what I do instead is I kind of rub my finger here and I use an old embossing tool. I use the larger end and just at 5.5, give it a quick score. You saw that I rubbed my finger across it first. That just puts a little bit of the natural oils on my hand down first so that the tool runs more smoothly. Flip it over. You always want the part that you've just creased as your outside, because that's the part of the cardstock that has been stretched. And then I've got another little bone folder here that I use. It's just like this. I use it just to really burnish that down so that my card lies flat. We're gonna add this layer onto my card. And for this, we're just gonna eyeball it. And it's going to be crooked because, let's be honest with me, it's always crooked the first time. But with this tape, if you don't push it down real tight or real hard, you can actually play around a little bit. And I actually got that not too bad this time. So push it down really hard. Now, like I said, I want this panel to really just be the star of this card. I mean, it is It's so absolutely gorgeous. I love it. What I want though is a little sentiment over here. What I'm following actually a sketch from the 52 Christmas card throwdown blog. It's their current sketch that ends in a couple of days here. So I'm going to be getting this up. So this sketch tells me I need to have some sort of a little sentiment here. And this is the part that I'm kind of going fly by the seat of my pants because I don't know what is actually going to work. So this is how I figure out what kind of works into a space. I kind of just play with some different ones that I like the look of and think might work. So like this season's greetings would work, but I'd have to cut kind of a larger piece of a backer because I don't have a die for it to actually get it on the front of my paper there. And I don't think that is something I'm gonna like. So I pulled out a couple of sets where I have stamps and dies. So let's see if there's anything in either of these that I like the look of. That piece is one of my favorites. It's just so simple and nice. Merry Christmas might work as well. And then I've got this cool set from Simon Says Stamp as well. Christmas Blessings. It was new for Christmas of 2022. It comes with dies that actually cut out around that. And I think I really like that Sending Holiday Cheer. So let's get that open and get the stamp out. And you know, when I started stamping 26 years ago now, I never thought I'd still be making cards, honestly. But when the Misty came out, I thought, oh, I don't need that. I've been stamping for forever. Why would I need it? You need it. It is such a great tool. I hardly ever use stamping blocks anymore because this is kind of foolproof. I can, as long as I've got everything set up correct, I can stamp it a second time if I don't get a good impression. I can make multiples. I can do all sorts of things with my Misty. It is a great investment. So we're just going to ink that up. I used some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. That is my favorite ink for stamping, period, but especially for sentiments. I got a good impression there, so we'll take this up. I use a sticky mat. This is actually an off-brand sticky mat for the Cricut, and then I've cut it in half and it fits in my Misty. So I've been using this for over a year. I got it for Christmas of 2021, and it is still sticky enough that my paper sticks to it just fine for stamping. I really like it better than the magnet. Sometimes I use both, but usually I just use the sticky mat. So we'll clean this up later. Usually I clean as I go, so if my friend Bonnie is watching, she's going to be freaking out that I didn't clean that stamp first. And now I need to figure out which of these is the right die. And, oh, I guessed right on the first try. So we're just going to grab some tape here. I love this mint tape from scrapbook.com. It is great tape for adhering your dies. I also use it when I'm using my foil machine. And I'm just going to get this lined up as best I can. It won't be perfect. I'm going to tape that down. I'll be right back. If you want to look at some of those great greetings while I'm using the die cut machine. All right, so if we just tuck this out of there and tuck these out of my way, I've got this great little die cut sentiment now. I absolutely love the idea of die cut sentiments like this, and I really hope that more companies come out with ones that do this, that kind of go along the edges of the actual words, because I think it's absolutely stunning. I think for some visual interest, we're going to add some foam adhesive. I've got fake nails, as you can see, and I have issues doing things with those nails. So I really love these tweezers. They're just an L-shaped tweezer. I find I can pick up things and do more with it. This little spot here seems a little small for a full one of these glue dots, so make sure you use the edges of your foam adhesive sheets, because there's still lots of good foam adhesive over there. Kind of burnish everything down. Looks like I might need one more here. I give them a good press down just to make sure they're well stuck. And then I use my tweezers to take off the top layer. There we go. I find I can't do this with my fake nails. They're just a little bit too thick. Whereas with the tweezers, it goes real quick. Sometimes I get adhesive stuck to the base of my tweezers, so I just use some Undo or Goo Gone and clean that up. I also use my tweezers to help me place things. I find I can sometimes get a better feel for where things are going. So let's just make this all straight again. And we'll go like that and adhere it down. Then for me, I like to kind of look at my card kind of more up and down to me rather than flat, just to see how it's looking. I want to say it needs some bling, but I'm not sure what I want to do for that. So I bought this. It's a little tray for my bling, and it is fabulous. I don't know if you can see it on the video. Maybe, oh, right there you can. There's these little raised dots here, and those raised dots are absolutely fabulous because they allow for you to shake your gems. Here, I can show you. I'll put a few gems in here. So you can see a lot of them landed upside down. They're silver side up instead of red or green. If I do this, those little things help to make them all flip over. Now, I've seen other trays like this, but this is the only one that actually has these, and I believe it was from Studio Katya that I got it. So I'm thinking adding some red bling just to brighten things up a little bit. I like my tweezers for this part. It's just a matter of preference and then trying to figure out where they should go. That's the hard part. I'm not an expert, but I do know that you want things in a triangle and groups of 3. That one seems really dark for some reason in comparison. So, all right, so I think that's kind of what I want to do. I'm gonna grab my art glitter glue with the fine tip on it and my jewel picker. This is when I use the jewel picker, is when I'm placing. I love how quickly and easily it picks things up so that I can do that little dotted glue and put my jewel down. The key to these fine applicator glue tips is make sure you put the pin back in it right away so that it doesn't clog up. If it does clog up though, just run it under some hot water, play around with it in some hot water, and it'll clear out. So that is, I think, my finished card for today. You can see I've got the 1/16 border to add just a little bit of color. I've got this wonderful 3D embossing folder, a sentiment that's raised up on foam adhesive, so you can see that there, and a little bit of bling, and there goes the dog. So I guess that means my time is up. Thanks for making this card along with me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the journey. Let's see if I do another one. Thanks for coming in.